Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. This is Ed McMahon with New England Electrical Sales and Liberty Electric Products. Today we're going to talk about BRK's brand new Wi-Fi enabled smart smoke and CO2 alarm. So, what is the difference between this alarm and other alarms? Well, the only real difference is that it's connected to Wi-Fi and it allows you to get mobile alerts on your phone. This particular unit will allow you to get mobile alerts through the Resideo and the First Alert Home app, along with the Nest app, the Google Nest app. And part of the reason that this particular device has taken so long to come out was because of their partnership with Nest, and I'll talk a little bit about that here in a minute. So there's two specific types of alarm for this. There's a hardwire and a battery, and this is the hardwire version of it. A couple things about it: it's a photoelectric smoke sensor, and it's got the voice alerts. There are many jurisdictions, especially in Mass and Vermont, where photoelectric and voice are 100% mandatory. They're actually code in both of those areas, so that meets the code there. The other thing to keep in mind with this particular unit is that it requires and it comes with a replaceable battery pack. So if a customer buys this unit and the battery goes out and needs to be replaced, they need to come back to you to get this battery pack. So it is a replaceable battery in this particular unit. As far as compatibility goes, this device is compatible with all of the new UL 9th and 8th edition alarms from BRK, along with some of the older 6th edition alarms, meaning the 7010B and the 9120B. And then it's also good with the Google, it also worked with the Google Nest Protect. And when I mean compatibility, that means that one goes, they all go, right? So if one alarm goes off, all the alarms sound. And all of these particular alarms work with this particular unit. This is the battery unit. Now again, photoelectric smoke sensor, voice alert, that's great for areas that you need it. The one thing to keep in mind is that it comes with 6 of these lithium batteries, these CR123A. So they're like the mini AAAs, right? There's 6 in your AAA battery. And then secondly, these units will only connect to other SC5 alarms, right? They'll only connect to either other battery powered ones or to the wired unit. So those are the two specific units that BRK is now offering. And let's talk a little bit more about what that means for you. So part of the reason that it took so long for this to come out was because BRK was working with Google, because Google Nest has now discontinued production of their Protect alarm. So if you were to go to the Google website, you would see this, which says we no longer make this. Go to First Alert and work with them because this one is no longer in production. So that's an opportunity for us, right? Because at with these units are only good for 10 years. Right, the CO2 sensor, because it degrades over time, and it's only good for 10 years. And another one of the huge benefits of having the app is that the app will then trigger the user that they need a new device, right? Which is an opportunity for all of us, because right when you go to put one of these in, right, you're going to have to change the actual pigtail that goes with it if you have a Google Nest or a Protect, which means you either have to shut off the breaker or you need to wire it live. Right now, for many people on this, most of the people on this call, that isn't a problem. But for a Joe homeowner who doesn't know about that, they're probably going to go out and find somebody to do it. So this is an opportunity for us because there's several million units out there that will be going bad pretty soon, if not already, and that gives us an opportunity. I won't go through all these key selling points, but the big reason I wanted to put this slide up here is because BRK has done a really good job with the building community. I don't know the exact number, but I believe it's well over 70 builders across the country have partnered with BRK to be able to sell in Resideo all of the BRK/Resideo home products to be able to use the First Alert app. So there's an opportunity for us because these builders are not buying them direct from BRK and Resideo. They have to go through distribution. So there are opportunities for us to go out there and sell to those folks. Like we talked, the biggest benefit of this device is the fact that now you get upgraded notifications, meaning that you will not only get that voice alert in the home, you're now going to get an alert on your phone. Now let's talk about what that means, because there's two different types of notifications. The first type is what you'll see on the left, which we'll call just a whole home alerts, where you have one SC5 connected to all other compatible BRK devices in the home, which means that if any one of those devices goes off, you will get this notification on your phone, which basically would indicate that the devices are going off. So that's what we'll call the whole home alert. The second is what we'll call the whole home smart alerts, which means if you have SC5s installed throughout your entire home, you can name where the device is placed. So not only in that case will you get an alert that says the devices are going off, it will literally tell you which room the device is going off. But that is only if you have the SC5 in every room. And that's a common misconception with this, right? Because many people think that you can just put one in and then it'll just be able to tell you where the alarm is happening. And that's just not true. The First Alert app not only comes with the SC5, and you can use it with that, but you can also use it with all of these devices as well. The Honeywell thermostats, all the water leak and shut-off valves, which are available to all of our electrical distributors, and then all of the video doorbells, indoor and outdoor cameras. All of these products are compatible with the Resideo First Alert app. The smoke and CO2 alarm is the only one that is compatible with the Google Nest app. So just keep that in mind as well. Like we talked about, right, this particular alarm for electrical contractors, you can still use the adapters. So if you have the other guy's alarm installed and you don't want to have somebody that have to go through and rewire all these pigtails, you can buy these down at the bottom here, which is these ADK12s, which are these plug and play adapters that will work. But if you're going to be taking on a Google Nest Protect, you're going to have to rewire it because they're not the same connector. We've had some customers ask us about these two models, and yes, they will still work as well. The first one is the 520B, which is a Connect Bridge model. What this model is it is a hardwire model that will allow you to link other battery-powered alarms into the whole home interconnected system. So it will work where if this unit is hooked up to the SC5 and one of those battery units goes off, that will trigger this to go off, it'll set the entire system off and you'll get an alarm on your phone. One of the things that you will not be able to do is that the wireless device from BRK allows you through the switch during setup to identify which room it's coming from with a voice alert. That will not translate into the app. Okay, so that won't be, that functionality is not available on the app, but it will work. And the second is the heat alarm. Most of you know that for many areas that we cover, right, the heat alarm is code for any garages that are either built or upgraded after 2008. And these will all work, meaning that if one of the devices goes off in the system, all of them will go off in the system and you will get an alert on your phone. So that is really it for the SC5. We did want to talk about one other product while we have everybody here, and that is that BRK Resideo does have a product that works with the Ring app as well. This particular Z-Wave, it's the SMC 0410 that works with the Ring systems as well. Now, the one thing you have to have is you can't just have a Ring doorbell with this system. You have to have a Ring alarm system for this to work. And when you are setting this up, it will allow you to connect to the Ring system so that it works just like the SC5, except, again, this particular device is the only one that will talk to that Ring system. So wanted to make sure everybody knew that we had devices, not only that'll work with the Resideo First Alert app, but we have one that'll also work with the Nest, and we'll also work with the Ring. We have one that will work with the Ring app as well. And one last thing before we let everybody go, just because we want to make sure that we've had some things out in the marketplace that have happened. We'll clear everything up. Right now, BRK's got everything in stock. You know, earlier this year, we were behind a little bit on the photoelectric model with the voice. All of those are in stock today. They will ship out of stock in 2 to 3 days. So please be aware of that. And again, we are fully up to stock with that. And then the last thing is all BRK alarms are UL 9th edition compliant. You know, when we went through the UL 6 to the 8th edition, there was a whole change of part numbers, and none of that is going to happen. Right? The UL 9th edition, you're going to use the same exact part numbers. You're not going to have to change anything when that comes into effect next year. They're already compliant. You're not going to have to change anything. So thank you again for this short presentation. Again, our goal was to make sure that we gave everybody the opportunity to hear about this, and to make sure, most importantly, that when you're talking to your contractors, that they know what it can and cannot do, so that you folks don't get returns back when somebody comes in and says, why can't I turn on my oven with my new BRK SC5? So hopefully this is helpful. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask any of your Liberty or New England Electrical salespeople. And in terms of samples for our distributor partners, we're very happy to provide you with one and your customers with one. So please reach out to Bessie or any of us as well. Thank you again for your time.